A man beating a woman with a bat. You're the police officer. What would you do?
I'm never going to get this gun out of here. Oh, whoa. Sir, whoa.
What do you want to do?
Sir,
You're the detective interviewing a witness in a fraud case. Her husband barges into the kitchen, then pulls a knife. What would you do?
Put your hands up. Put your hands up or I will shoot you.
It's a small dose of reality of how tough it is to be a policeman.
Lieutenant Todd Motley runs LMPD's firearms simulator. Once nicknamed Shoot or Don't Shoot, the high-tech interactive training tool now responds to other weapons like tasers and pepper spray in addition to guns, preparing officers for real-life scenarios in an age where using force against a suspect can lead to fiery protests. Like the one outside LMPD in June, fallout in the wake of the fatal shooting of a man who attacked an officer with a flagpole. Attica Scott and Gary Bryce were among those leading the chants that day.
You know, it's easy to be a critic, until you're actually, in the room or, on the street, it's hard to, to pass judgment.
Scott and Bryce agree to walk in officers' shoes, stepping into the use of force simulator to see if they could pass the test. First up, Scott, a former Metro councilwoman turned community activist.
It was a really honest assessment and experience for us to say, well, in the moment, how do you make decisions between life and death?
Scott faced with that deadly decision almost immediately as she encounters a suspect attacking someone in the hallway of a school.
What do you want to do?
Sir, I want to shoot him.
Scott hesitates, finally getting off a couple shots.
Good
Keep
gracious.
going, keep going, keep going.
I missed.
It's too late.
And I guess you would have just had to shoot.
If you want to save her.
Yeah.
I mean, you can save him by not shooting him, but she dies.
Gary Bryce
Put your hands up or I will shoot you.
has no problem pulling the trigger after that man surprised him during a police interview, brandishing a knife.
Put your hands up or I will shoot you.
His taser stayed in the holster. The man shot dead in his own home.
And people are protesting.
Lieutenant Motley said as tough as these training scenarios are, things happen even faster in real life, where the correct use of force option isn't always as clear. Scott says she'll always have questions after police use of force, but now she has a lot more answers.
If we don't at least ask the questions, then we'll never have the conversation. But at the same time, I continue to have the same level of respect that I've always had for officers. Just asking questions doesn't mean that you don't respect the job that officers have.